Welcome back everyone. Today, we dive into part 60 of our gripping series, What If Goku Was Betrayed and Locked Inside the Hyperbolic Time Chamber? Thank you for your patience. Crafting original content for a 12-hour series is a monumental task. Moving forward, we'll release one episode per week to maintain the quality you expect and deserve. If you're enjoying the journey, let's smash that 400-like goal for this episode. Don't hesitate to drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on the series so far. Now, let's get started. The scene switches back to the past, focusing on Broly as he travels to planet Namek to get the Namekian Dragon Balls. His goal is to revive Gohan and wish everyone back home. As the king prepared the space pod for Broly's departure, Yamoshi spoke a few words to Broly. Broly, rage is the key to all Saiyan transformations. The Super Saiyan 6 transformation is no different. You said this Goku fellow taught you control by telling you to focus your rage on a single person. However, that isn't total control. What's going to happen if that person dies? You'll be back at square one. The goal is total control. You need rage to transform, but you also need control to contain that rage and use the form effectively. When you master that, you can activate the transformation at will. There isn't more that I can teach you. Farewell. With those words, and the coordinates punched in, the space pod launched off, its destination set for planet Namek. It took 34 days for Broly to reach Namek. The Sen space pod crash landed on the planet, causing a huge crater on its surface. The collision was loud, and everyone could hear the explosion. Some had even seen the Sane space pod as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Instantly, a few Namekian warriors relayed the information to the elders. Great Elder, we saw a space pod belonging to the Sanes entering the planet's atmosphere. It crash-landed on Mount Kami. What should we do? The Namekian elders, particularly Grand Elder Guru, possessed powerful telepathic abilities that allowed them to sense the heart of others. While they might not see the future in a literal sense, their telepathy enabled them to perceive incoming beings or ships and understand their intention to some extent. This ability helped them discern whether newcomers arrived with peaceful or hostile intentions. Don't worry, said the elder. For some unknown reason this Saiyan don't have an evil heart. His intentions are pure. He means no harm, said the elder. Please go and retrieve him and bring him before me. But that's simply not possible, shouted Nail. He is a Saiyan, isn't he? Saiyans don't have pure hearts. They are savage beasts, monsters of nature. All they know is to conquer and destroy. Suddenly, another elder yelled out in anger. Are you questioning us, Nail? Don't you have faith in the wise words of Elder Guru? Nail snapped back to reality, his anger subsiding as he then apologized to the elders. Instantly, the Namekian warriors nodded and headed off towards the crash site along with Nail. Broly, emerging from the wreckage of his space pod, looked around at the unfamiliar landscape, his thoughts focused on his mission. He began to walk but soon stopped as he saw a group of Namekians approaching him. Hello, Broly called out cautiously, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. Gohan's lifeless body strapped to his back. I come in peace. One of the Namekian warriors, Nail, stepped forward. Our elder has sensed your arrival. He wishes to see you. Please follow us. Broly nodded, relieved that there was no hostility. As they walked, Nail glanced at Broly. Your power, it's incredible. Are all Saiyans as strong as you? Broly chuckled softly. Not all of us. I've been through a lot of training. I need the Dragon Balls to bring back someone important to me and to get back home. Nail nodded, leading Broly towards the Elder's village. The Dragon Balls are sacred to us. We only allow them to be used for worthy causes. The elders were right. It sounds like your cause is just. As they approached the village, Grand Elder Guru sat on his throne, surrounded by several other Namekians. Broly could feel the weight of the elder's gaze as he entered the room. Welcome, young Sane, Guru said in a deep, calming voice. I sense a great burden on your heart. Tell me, what brings you to our planet? Broly stepped forward, bowing respectfully. Great Elder, my name is Broly. I am a Saiyan from the future. Both my friend and I were forcefully transported to the past with no way of returning. I came seeking the Namekian Dragon Balls to revive my friend, Gohan, and to return us all back to our home in the future. Broly intentionally left out the part about being caught in a war among the gods and angels. He knew that many beings were scared of the gods and would never oppose them in any way. He didn't want to change the elder's mind and prevent him from making his wish out of fear of angering the gods. Guru nodded slowly, his eyes closing as if in deep thought. I see. The struggle you and your friends have endured is immense. The Dragon Balls can indeed grant your wish, but there are conditions. Broly looked up, hopeful. What conditions? Guru opened his eyes and looked directly at Broly. Purunga can grant only 3 wishes, so use them wisely and be very precise. You must understand that the power of the Dragon Balls must not be misused. They are meant to bring balance and aid those in need, not for personal gain. Broly nodded earnestly. I promise, Great Elder. My only desire is to save my friends and go home. Guru smiled softly. Very well. You have a pure heart, Broly. We will grant you access to the Dragon Balls. Nail, take him to the summoning site. Nale gestured for Broly to follow, and they made their way to a clearing where 7 large Dragon Balls were laid out in a circle. Broly stood back, watching in awe as Nale began the ritual. Purunga, mighty dragon, by your name I summon you forth, Nail called out. The Dragon Balls began to glow brightly, and the sky darkened. A powerful wind swept through the clearing as the gigantic dragon, Purunga, emerged from the Dragon Balls, towering over them with a majestic presence. Who has summoned me, and what is your wish? Purunga's voice boomed. Broly stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest. Mighty Purunga, I wish for my friend Gohan to be brought back to life. Purunga's eyes glowed red as he considered the request. Your wish is within my power. However, Gohan has refused to be brought back to life just yet. Broly's mind buzzed with questions, disbelief flooding his thoughts. What? He shouted, his voice echoing through the vast emptiness. He couldn't fathom why Gohan would refuse to come back. But why? Broly asked again, desperation in his tone. Purunga, the great dragon, floated before him, his immense form radiating power. Is that your wish? To know why he refused? Purunga's voice was deep and commanding. Broly snapped out of his shock. I was just curious, that's all. Purunga, not known for lengthy conversations, gave a brief nod. Technically, Gohan didn't refuse to be brought back to life forever. He only refused for now. He mentioned something about training. He said that because of the many times he saved Earth and its people, he was allowed to keep his body in the other world. During his time there, he met a master of history who decided to train him, to repay the debt owed to his father, Goku, for his past heroics. So, warrior, that's the message he wanted me to pass along. Broly took in the information, feeling a mix of surprise and understanding. Gohan's choice made sense, considering the Saiyan's dedication to becoming stronger. Purunga's patience was waning. Now, I've wasted enough time here already, he boomed. State your wish now. Broly, still processing the news, realized he needed to adjust his wish. Okay, dragon, I'm ready to make my wish. He paused, gathering his thoughts. I want you to revive Gohan the moment he completes his training. His body is currently on the Saiyan planet. Broly struggled to recall the name, as it wasn't called Planet Vegeta yet. When revived, bring him back to Earth in the future he belongs to. Is that doable for you, dragon? Broly's voice was firm and resolute. Purunga's eyes glowed a brilliant red before he spoke. Gohan has accepted those terms. Your wish has been granted. Now, speak your second wish. Broly pondered for a moment. My second wish, what should I wish for? He thought deeply. I know. I wish to know if Goku and Vegeta are alive and if Earth is safe. The last time Broly saw them, they were captured by the Grand Priest, and he had been dragged to the past, constantly worrying about their safety. Purunga's eyes glowed once more as he gazed into the future. Your second wish has been granted, the dragon declared. Broly's heart pounded as he waited for Purunga's answer. Yes, the sign you call Goku and the sign you call Vegeta are currently alive. As for Earth, safe is an understatement. Yes, Earth is not destroyed, but there are currently beings present who wish to do so. Broly's eyes widened in horror. What? He yelled, panic rising in his voice. All he could think about was his wife. Chile is in danger. I must protect her. Dragon, my final wish is for you to send me to Earth, the Earth in the future from which I came. Purunga's eyes glowed brightly. Your wish has been granted, he said before the 7 Dragon Balls scattered to all corners of planet Namek. Instantly Broly started to disappear, feeling the familiar pull of time dragging him back to the future, back to his current timeline. The scene shifted to Earth, far in the future. There, a fierce battle raged on. Abaddon, one of the primordial demon gods, had saved Beerus from being killed by Campari. But it wasn't out of kindness. Abaddon had his own notorious ambitions. He wanted to understand how these so-called gods of destruction managed to use their demon Kai, now known as Hakai energy. Mortals shouldn't be able to use demon energy by training. The moment they entered this dimension from the prison realm, they sensed the gods of destruction. Initially, they believed some of their kind must be living in hiding. However, they were shocked to see that these gods of destruction were far from their own kind. These gods were mortals using divine demon energy. They realized that these gods were an experiment by the angels to create balance in the multiverse after wiping out the demon race, the true birth users of Hakai energy. The demon gods had a sinister plan. By capturing the god of destruction, they hoped to unlock the secrets of wielding demon energy without succumbing to its devastating effects. Their ultimate goal was to revive the demon race. Zeno, the supreme being, had once created both the demon race and the gods of destruction. Instead of recreating true demons, he chose to bestow mortals with the ability to harness demon energy. This decision left the demon gods puzzled. They had to find a way to unravel this mystery. If they could, the demon race could rise again. To achieve this, the false demons, now known as the gods of destruction, had to be captured alive. That's why Abaddon prevented Campari from killing Beerus. The battle was intense. Campari and Conic launched a relentless assault on Abaddon, their attacks synchronized in a fierce 2-on-1 clash. The planet itself seemed to shudder under the force of their blows. In just 5 minutes, the angels and the demon gods' skirmish had thrown Earth into chaos. Natural disasters spiraled out of control. Massive tsunamis swallowed cities, terrifying storms and hurricanes tore through the land, and volcanoes, dormant for centuries, erupted violently. It was hell on Earth. Within 10 minutes, the death toll soared to 1 billion. People perished by the millions, and nearly a quarter of the world's population was wiped out. If the battle continued, Earth and everyone on it would be annihilated within half an hour. Bulma, along with the other Z fighters and Chilai, Broly's girlfriend, had taken refuge in an impenetrable dome Bulma had designed years ago for emergencies. Now, that day had come, and the dome was their last hope. However, Bulma hadn't considered that the dome would be useless if the Earth itself exploded, a possibility that seemed more likely with each passing moment. Meanwhile, Beerus, the god of destruction, found himself weakened. His divine power was gone. To restore it, he needed to be reconnected with his Kai. The gods of destruction derived their divinity from their link to their respective Kai. Although Beerus could still use some of his Hakaishin abilities, he was now immortal, and his energy was greatly diminished. Looking at Beerus, who lay weakened on the ground, Frieza was also down for the count. Though not unconscious, his stamina was almost entirely drained. He could no longer transform into his powerful black form, rendering him nearly useless in the ongoing battle. "Hey Frieza!" Beerus shouted, his voice strained yet commanding. "Are you still interested in that proposition I offered you? Do you want to become my successor as this universe's next god of destruction?" Frieza, battered and barely conscious, managed to pull himself together. His mind raced through the recent events. Beerus had saved his life, a debt Frieza could not ignore. His eyes flickered with a mixture of surprise and contemplation. The prideful emperor hated owing anyone a debt, especially someone like Beerus. He despised the idea of feeling indebted. Gritting his teeth, he made his decision. "Fine," Frieza said, his voice regaining some of its usual haughtiness. "I will accept your offer, Beerus. You saved my life, and I loathe being in debt to anyone. Consider this my repayment." "However," said the emperor, "I will not take orders from a child. I'll follow my own rules." A faint smile played on Beerus's lips. With an inside voice he spoke to himself. "It seems that I have to get some sense into him later." He spoke out loud. "Now, listen carefully. To regain my divine power, we need to re-establish my connection with my Kai. Without it, I can't be of much use." Frieza nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "What do you need me to do?" "We need to find Shin, the Supreme Kai of Universe 7, Beerus explained, his voice growing weaker. "Without him, my connection remains severed." Beerus thought to himself, maybe he could tell me what happened to Whis. I've been calling him for years now, but he hasn't responded to me once. Even when I had that damn bottle, I called but without success. I know he can hear me, but what's stopping him from attending to me, that I don't know? Maybe I can get some answers from Shin. There are just so many unanswered questions. Where is Whis, and why is it that me and the Kai are not linked anymore? What have I missed while I was in that damn prison? The clash between Abaddon and the angels, Campari and Conic, intensified. The ground quaked under their tremendous power, and the very air seemed to vibrate with the force of their attacks. Campari and Conic fought valiantly, their synchronized strikes a testament to their training and bond. But Abaddon was a primordial demon god, and his power was overwhelming. Dark energy swirled around him, creating a malevolent aura that seemed to devour light itself. "Campari, we need to push harder," Conic shouted, his voice strained from the effort. "I'm giving it everything I've got, Conic," Campari replied, dodging a lethal blast of dark energy. Abaddon laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the battlefield. "You angels are pathetic. You cannot hope to defeat me." "Do you really think you can defeat me?" Abaddon sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "You angels are nothing compared to the true power of the demon gods." That's it for this episode, guys. If you've watched to the end, then that may be an indication that you enjoy the episode, so please drop a like so the video could reach more people. See you in the next episode. Take care.